the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant have another problem on their hands. Officials with Tokyo Electric Power Company say the levels of radioactivity more than 300 tons of highly radioactive water leaked last month out of the storage tank. The water's contents seem to be too acidic. Managers have assigned more monitors to check for radioactive materials.
I speak unto thee this day, and I say, when I, the living God, do give the call, when I give the standard, when I give the dictate of service unto me, I say that I do not alter and change the same for generations. That is, I do not alter the call, I do not alter the standard to meet up with a rebellious generation. But I say that if men will truly be my disciples, then I say they must meet the standard, the requirement that I put forth. And I say that I, the living God, have not changed it, it remains the same. Now I say this day you are living in a time when men and women have grown so proud, so independent, so stubborn, they think they can have it their way. That is, they think they can have me and have their own lives and keep the same and do as they please. But I say the truth of it is they do not have me at all. But I say they have delusion, they have confusion, because they have their own way. Now I say that they are not counted worthy of me, because they will not meet the requirement that I put before them. Now I say you are living in a time when multitudes are living under delusion. I say they are serving false Christ and loving it so. And I say it is because they are able to maintain what it is that they desire, what it is that they require, rather than be pleasing me. And I say all the while they are deluded to imagine they are all right with me, but it is not true. For I say they are serving an invention, a fabrication, an imitation, and they are not serving me at all. Now I say this day that I, the living God, do demand and command that my own people would be in obedience unto me. And I say that the ones who will be counted worthy and counted as my disciples are the ones who will discipline themselves to obedience unto me. And I say, when any man or woman will veer from my way to go in the way of death, I say that is exactly what they receive. For I say, in the obedience unto me is found the life, but in the disobedience is found the way of death. Now I say this day that I, the living God, am calling forth in this wayward, perverse, and vile generation for men to come unto me. That is, to come unto me, to come out of their deluded mindsets and walk in the way that I provide. And I say, when a man will hear my call, I say that he's meant to obey the same. But I say, if he will justify disobedience, it is only himself that he deceives. For I say that I, the living God, am not mocked, and when men will offer unto me disobedience, I say they are mocking me. And I say that it is me, the living God, who will indeed mock them, because they have offered unto me that which I, the living God, will never accept. For I say that I will not accept disobedience, I will not be pleased in the same, and I will not close my eyes when men walk afar off from me. But I say that the only thing that is found acceptable unto me is obedience to my command. Now I say this day that I, the living God, do desire that men would obey me, that they would come forth in me, that they would walk uprightly in me. And I say that I desire they continue in such a way all of their lives. For I say there is no place of retirement, there is no place of vacationing, there is no place of leisure whereby a man will leave his first estate. For I say, if a man leaves his first estate, that is, if he departs from me to go in the way of disobedience, he is damned in the same. Now I say this day, do not take lightly the standard, do not take lightly the requirement, and think somehow you can slip by on the same. For I say it is me, the living God, who will indeed bring my retribution against thee, if you are walking in such a way. For I say it is me, the living God, who has the way of righteousness, the way of truth, and the way of mercy, provided I say walk in the same. That is, do not be walking afar off from me and imagining somehow you get by. Now I say this day that I, the living God, do offer to thee the way that is truth, the way that is light. I say, be thankful for the same. And I say, do not think by the justifications of your own carnality that you are dismissed from obedience unto me. For I say that the carnal mind, the carnal man is always there to usurp my authority and take you in the way of damnation of soul. But I say, if you will indeed pay heed to me, you will be kept in the way that I provide. And I say that you will be able to continue in obedience because you are serving me. Now I say this day, when you look upon the condition of the whorish entity that calls itself my church, what do you see? I say you see the works of men, the works of women, and you see the works of the flesh. That is, you see the things that I, the living God, despise offered unto me. And I say you see the very things that I abhor, posing themselves to be God. Now I say this day that I, the living God, am thoroughly disgusted with the disobedience that I see day after day. Yet I say I still reach out, I still call men to come unto me. For I say there are those, they are few and far between, yet I say that they will obey. That is, they will grab hold of me, desire me, and seek to be pleasing unto me. Now I say this day, if any man pull back from me, I say such a man is proven to be a fool. But I say, if any man or woman will go forward in the way of truth and light, the way of mercy and hope, then I say they are found well-pleasing unto me. Now I say you are living in a time when many are living in their own imitation, their own emulation, in the way of their own God. And I say they love it so, for they are in control, but I say they are damning their own souls. Now I say this day, if you look at the factor of control, I say, why would any man want to claim he is serving me, yet remain in control? I say it is because he is full of lies and deceit and cunning craftiness and wanting his own way. But I say he is ultimately a magnified fool, because the way of a man is the way of his own destruction. Now I say this day that I, the living God, do set before thee the way that is truth and light, the way that is mercy and hope, and the way that is peace provided. And I say, if you will be walking in that way, coming forth in me, then you are ever uplifted in me. I say, therefore, this day be thankful for the privilege to walk uprightly, be thankful for the privilege to be directed, corrected, and guided always by me. And I say, be thankful that I, the living God, am the one ever present to give to thee the truth, the light, the mercy, the hope, and the peace of who I am. Now I say this day that I, the living God, do give thee the privilege to walk uprightly. I say that I give thee the privilege to be directed, corrected, and guided forth by me. And I say that I give to thee the privilege to be pursuing the course of righteousness that I've set before thee. For I say that I do not call thee to live, to die, to perish as a fool, because you are estranged from me. But I say that I call thee to be coming forth in that which I give thee, which is the truth, the light, the strength, and the hope that I provide. Now I say this day that I, the living God, am the one who will be present unto thee to direct thee, correct thee, and guide thee forth. And I say that I am the one who will be present to give to thee the abundance of mercies that I provide. For I say it is me, the living God, who is indeed all righteousness. It is me, the living God, who is indeed all mercy, truth, hope, and peace provided. Therefore I say, be coming forth ever thankful for what it is that I give thee, for it is the way of life. Now I say this day that I, the living God, find no pleasure in the man or woman who hears my call, who sees what it is that I desire, then sets out to establish their own terms. For I say, when they do that, they prove they are not worthy of me, because they want it their way. That is, they think they can play with my call, they can purpose themselves according to their own time frame and their own plans, and still be found acceptable to me. But I say it is not true, for I say my disciples, when they were called, straightway left their nets and followed me. And I say likewise, They knew that it was me who was the preeminent force in their lives and not any other attachment. Now I say, if a man has other attachments that he puts above me, then I say he's not worthy of me. Therefore I say this day, continue to serve me with all of your heart, continue to abandon yourself to me. For I say, if you will be fully abandoned unto me, then I say that it will not be a painful strain upon thee to follow me. But I say, if you have yielded yourself to other masters, other lovers, other gods, what will you find? You will find that it is indeed a painful wrenching to follow after me. And I say it is because you have allowed yourself to deviate from me as your first love, and I say you've taken other lovers. Now I say this day that I, the living God, do not call thee to be entangled with the affairs of this life, for the same will only tie thee down. But I say that I've called thee to be fully committed unto me, ever thankful to be guided in me and directed in my way. And I say that I've called thee to be made glad that it is me that you can look unto, believe, trust, and obey. For I say it is me, the living God, and me alone who is righteousness. It is me, the living God, and me alone who is truth and mercy, hope and peace always. Now I say this day, if you have indeed strayed from my way, I say repent this day. That is, you do not need to make a big show, but I say you can simply repent of the things that my Spirit would show unto thee. That is, that you can be set aright, that you can be walking in the truth, that you can be strengthened in me. For I say, if you will indeed be purposed by me, you will be kept always. Now I say this day that I, the living God, have called thee to walk uprightly. I say that I've called thee to walk circumspectly, ever being guided by me. For I say you are not meant to go in the way of fools. You are not meant to be as the stubborn, the proud. But I say you are meant to be continually choosing that which I, the living God, do intend for thee, ever made glad in the same. And I say you are meant to be continually walking in me, for I have put before thee the way of my life. Now I say this day that I, the living God, do not call thee to walk afar off, but I say that I call thee to come forth in the truth, the light, the strength of who I am. And I say that I call thee to be made glad that it is me you are privileged to love, to serve, and obey, and follow after. For I say, if it is me that you keep your vision single unto, if it is me that you seek to please at all times, I say it is me, the living God, who will keep thee even in your old age years, where you will be full of the strength of who I am. But I say, if you get eyes full of adultery, if you look to other masters, other gods, if you give yourself off to other power sources, what do? I say that you bring to your soul blindness, you bring to your ears deafness, and I say you bring to yourself the way wherein you will die. For I say that I, the living God, do not find pleasure when my people deviate from me. But I say that I find my joy in a people who are faithful and true, ever steady to walk in my way. Now I say it is me, the living God, who will uplift thee, direct thee, and guide thee forth if you keep in consecration unto me. And it is me, the living God, who will indeed heal thee and guide thee time and again. For I say it is me you are meant to look to. It is me who is the rock of refuge intended always. And it is me who will keep the ones who follow after me, who come when I call and obey. Therefore I say, seek to remain ever abandoned unto me, not taking up the attachments of carnality that would deviate you from me, nor getting your eyes on the world and the vanities of the same, and taking in those things that you have no need of, that are a vexation unto thee. For I say that I, the living God, do not call thee to contaminate your eyes by looking upon that which I have forbidden, and knowing the same within yourself. And I say that I do not call thee to partake of those things that I, the living God, do not intend and imagine you get by. For I say, when you do that, you curse, you damn your own soul, and I say you are accountable for the same. I say this day, put away all things that would deviate you from me, And I say, keep your vision single unto me, and you will be uplifted, coming forth in the truth, the light, the strength, the mercy that I provide. I say, give thanks, give praise.